Hey again. Here are the 4 contextualization strategies we're featuring in this series. Number 1, activating background knowledge. Number 2, teaching critical concepts. Number 3, establishing peer-to-peer interaction. And number 4, using exit cards for assessment. Here's strategy number 1, getting the mind right, activating background knowledge. This strategy opens students' minds to contextualized information, concepts, and vocabulary. It lets students be smart and sets the stage for engaged learning. It also builds on students' prior knowledge. For example, you students probably already know something about blood pressure or about different kinds of air conditioners and how they work. Some may already be familiar with official hand signals that construction workers use. And they may know that one doesn't just yell, "Watch out," when things get dicey. Activation lets you, as a teacher, know what students know and where there may be misperceptions in their knowledge. Here is a basic truth that this strategy builds on. You can't learn what you don't already know. Now that sounds a bit nonsensical, but think for a moment. If we are presented with information that is so new that we cannot make an association to some experience or to something we've read, our mind just goes blank and shuts down. For example, I could give you a terrific lecture on the European parliamentary system, and you would tune out quicker than I can say Angela Merkel. Okay then. Here is a step-by-step process for activating background knowledge. Step number 1, show students a prompt. This can be an object, such as a tool, a compelling picture or a graphic, "Whoa, what's going on here?" or a short video. I like the electricity cartoon from Schoolhouse Rock. Let's look at the prompt, for example. Here, you can tell what it is. It's a blood pressure gauge. You can see, we can talk about what is it, what does it do, what happens when you use it wrong, and why is such a gauge important. When you show a video clip, you can ask students, what do you see or what's going on here, and you can ask them to identify actions and people. Step number 3. You want to capture the ideas that students generate on the board. A concept map works well. You write on the board the central idea in the middle and then add the words that students generate to it. Later on, your students can illustrate this map or create one of their own, perhaps as part of a project. Of course, your initial map will look quite simple. You can also just list the vocabulary students generated and ask them to copy the words on index cards and then sort them into semantic categories. Not just verbs and nouns, please. Students can add more words as the class progresses. All right, step number 4. If you can, summarize what's on the concept map in a few sentences, perhaps using a think aloud. And feel free to add a couple of words or ideas on your own. To sum things up, the activating background knowledge strategy should give you a better sense of your students' prior knowledge, what they know and what they've never been taught. At the same time, students recognize that they do know important stuff. They may also realize that there may be some gaps to be filled and pay more attention. Learners should now be primed to learn more. Let's do a bit of a think, pair, share to capture your thoughts. In your classes, how do you find out what students already know? How do you get their minds ready to learn new content? Why might activating background knowledge be a good strategy for contextualization to career pathways? Hope to hear from you soon.